Lisa from True North Homeschool Academy, and so excited to talk to you about some exciting things that we're doing at True North Homeschool Academy. We are doing a number of flash sales for the next several days, and we want to let you in on them because they are so good. They're too good not to share. Today, we're having a 50% off sale on 5 classes. Crazy, I know. 50% off. Now, these are not pre-recorded classes. These are not animated classes. These are our live online classes where the students log in at a certain time and day and they actually get to interact with the teacher, the fellow students. We have a virtual campus. It's the entire thing and it's 50% off. And the classes that we're going to give 50% off on today are Old Testament, Adam to Nehemiah, Biblical Hebrew 1 and 2, Modern Hebrew 1 and 2. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the classes in a few minutes, but wanted to talk to you about the life-changing power of the Bible and why you really need the Bible in your homeschool. It might be a different reason than you're expecting, but give me a minute. Okay, so you guys, you've heard me talk about this before. We are in what's called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And during times of revolutions, if you've studied history at all, you know it's disruption and change. And we're seeing this played out every day in commerce, in education, in churches, basically all across society. Our kids are feeling this. Statistically, they're feeling scared, anxious, and lonely. And there's no better time than right now to study the Bible and really focus on Bible study so that we can help our kids get their feet firmly planted and help them adjust course so that they're really headed true north. There's so many voices in our kids' lives, and if they have a smartphone or if they have access to any kind of internet, they're getting a lot of voices come at them fast and furious. So what does studying the Bible really do for your kids? It provides stability and anchoring. And again, in times of societal upheaval, when norms and values are questioned and shaken, we're seeing this played out daily, Bible study provides a stable anchor. These are timeless truths and principles, and they provide stability and help individuals navigate uncertain times with clarity and confidence because they're truths, capital T truths, that are thousands of years old. They stood the test of time. They provide moral guidance. And the Bible does serve as a powerful source of moral guidance for teens. And statistically, this is proven. If you read the Bible up to 3 to 4 times a day, you don't drink as much, you're not online as much, a whole bunch of things, because it's providing moral guidance. It's a moral compass, again, to help you go true north. And when we read the Bible with our kids and let them read the Bible and help them really learn how to study the Bible, they have those timeless principles to help them navigate the challenges of life way beyond homeschooling. And the Bible teaches honesty, kindness, forgiveness, and self-discipline, sometimes through positive examples and sometimes through negative examples, but it helps them understand characters that are for good and characters that are for evil. And because of that, our kids can help, it'll just provide those people, even though they're historical figures, that will help them make wise choices throughout their life. Now, we're in a time when personal identity is truly up for grabs. There's a whole ideology that you can be whatever you want to be. Listen, I'm never going to be an ancient pharaoh because we are all we are all like, we're living in a certain time. We're living in a certain age. These things are limiting factors, limfacts, as my husband likes to call them, and our personal identity does have several limiting factors. But what the Bible does is it offers deeper understanding of our personal identity and purpose. It reminds us that we're uniquely created and loved by a God. We're called by name by Him. He knows our name. He knows the hairs on our head. And it helps instill a sense of self-worth and empowering that can overcome insecurities and peer pressure. And believe me, our kids are under peer pressure, whether they're homeschooled, public school, private schooled. They're, again, having so many voices come at them. That's one of the things we really address, not only in our Bible classes, but also in the dystopian lit and comp class, is personal identity. And how if you can have your feet firmly planted, it doesn't matter what time and age you live in, you're going to navigate the storms that come with that time well, or at least better. The other thing the Bible does is it offers perspective and guidance. Okay, look, the Bible offers a broad perspective beyond our immediate circumstances, and it reminds us that God's sovereign and in control, even amidst chaos. And there's been a lot of chaos throughout history, right? The Babylonian and Assyrian exiles, and there was a reason why Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. They were a highly feared people group, so scary, and yet we have this image of courage during that time. And that's one of the things that the Bible does offer our kids as they study it and read it, is perspective and guidance that, look, here was this man who was afraid too. We might feel afraid, but God provided for him one way or another, and God provides for us one way or another always. So Bible study can provide guidance on how to respond to these societal disruptions. Sometimes we run away, but it also shows us how to respond with grace and love and wisdom. Think of Esther, aligning one's actions with God's will, even if it's scary. The Bible also offers hope and encouragement. And look, in times of trouble, the Bible provides teens with hope and encouragement because there's so many stories of resilience, triumph over adversity, God's faithfulness, God's inspiration to persevere through difficulties. And it reminds our kids that they're not alone in their challenges. There have been people across time who have had really serious, significant challenges, and they've managed to rise up and meet them with integrity and joy and hope and belief and faith. And that is something we need to hold those things out to our kids, because they're hungry for them, they're looking for them. Along those same lines, studying the Bible provides comfort and hope to our kids. Because look, again, people are experiencing fear, anxiety, confusion. We're in a time of inflation. We're in a time of upheaval and globalism and all these other things that feel like, wow, where was what I knew and what I was familiar with? Where did that go? Well, it's gone, and now we're trying to navigate the new place, right? But Bible study can offer comfort and hope. It reminds us of God's individual promises to each one of us as well as to his people. So again, we're not alone. Our kids aren't alone. God is faithful throughout time and history, and our ultimate hope is obviously found in Jesus Christ. So studying the Bible provides assurance that God can bring redemption and restoration even in the midst of challenging times. The other thing that is so life-changing about studying the Bible, that is just so amazing for our kids as they study it, is that it teaches them how to be discerning individuals, and it disciples them. So again, we're in a time of societal disruption. We have so many conflicting messages come at us. You can be who you want. Don't be this. Do that. You can be who you want, but I'll tell you who to be. It's just crazy about right now. But the Bible tells us, here's values that are timeless. Here is truth, capital T, that is timeless, and it equips us to discern and to critically evaluate those influences and then align our beliefs and actions with biblical principles. Our kids need that now more than ever. It really enables our kids to stand firm in their faith and actively live out their values so that they can become positive agents of change in our society. The other thing the Bible provides is wisdom and guidance. Now, look, there's a lot of voices coming at all of us, right? But not all of them are wise. Some of them are foolish voices. And the Bible's really clear about what to do with the foolish person. But we're always looking for the wise person if we're aligning ourselves with truth. The Bible offers that wisdom, and it can help our teens really navigate many complexities, particularly practical advice on relationships, decision making, handling conflicts, managing emotions. It equips our kids with valuable insight so that they can navigate various situations, again, with wisdom and discernment. And it's going to help our kids grow spiritually as they understand who they are in God and who they are in relationship to each other and with the world at large, so that they really can start building a firm faith foundation. So there's so many teachings on prayer, worship, fasting, spiritual discipline, etc. These are practical tools, really practical tools to help our kids connect with God and experience His transformative power in their lives. And lastly, but definitely not least, studying the Bible and how the Bible transforms us is it provides community support. Now, when we study the Bible, we realize that across time we're not alone. We're not alone. There are people that feel alone, like Elijah. He felt very alone, and God fed him with the ravens, right? And so we might feel alone where we're at right now, but as we read the Bible, we realize we're not alone throughout time. There's been faithful people throughout time who have done the hard thing. And furthermore, we can often, as we study the Bible, find other people who want to do Bible study with us, either online or in person, so there's that sense of community and support. Also, it brings together people with a common faith and desire to seek God. I don't know if you guys knew this, but a couple weeks ago, I think it was last week, there was a meeting of 70,000 people in Korea, and they all got together in a big stadium to celebrate the 50-year mark of Billy Graham being there for one of his crusades. And they came together to celebrate and worship, and Franklin Graham went there and preached, and it was a time of beautiful fellowship. I don't know how many of those people feel alone on a regular basis, but during that time they were together, and that's what that's what Bible study can do for us, because it's like you have this community support. My husband was in the military as an active duty for several years, and it just cracks me up because we will be at gas stations, and all of a sudden I'll look back and he'll be pumping gas, and he'll be just talking it up with the guy next to him or the gal next to him, and I'll get in the car and he'll get in the car and I'll say, how do you know him? And he's like, oh, he served in the military. And I'm like, how did you even know that? Because they have a common language and they have tells. And it's the same when we studied the Bible. We are part of a greater fraternity. I always joke with my husband, like, it's like the lifelong fraternity if you've served in the United States military. You're always going to know somebody else who's served. And that's how it is with Bible study. We have tells that we give each other. And so it's a great way to just really help our kids get solid in that culture and really take on those the fragrance of that culture so that other people can recognize them. Overall, the Bible study is great during a time of societal disruption. It's great anytime, but it provides stability, guidance, hope, and discernment, a sense of community, and it empowers our kids to navigate the complexities of a changing world with faith and resilience. There's so many benefits to studying the Bible. I hope you're doing Bible study with your kids. And I know you as a homeschooling parent, you have so much on your plate. There's a lot of us are working while we homeschool. We have multiple kids. We're managing a home. A lot of us are entrepreneurs. There's just so much going on in the world right now for all of us. So adding in Bible study is not a core class necessarily, and it might just seem like one more thing to do. And that's why we've made it super easy and accessible for you guys to do Bible study at True North Homeschool Academy. We want to affirm your decision and your values to homeschool and your commitment to raising your kids to value faith, family, and freedom. That's what we're all about at True North Homeschool Academy too. So when you purchase a Bible class with us, it means your kids get to interact with a Bible scholar, a seasoned teacher who loves the Bible and knows it inside and out. And that they're not burned out at the end of the day. They come to class ready and excited to teach your kids the Bible. Now, our Old Testament Adam to Nehemiah class is taught by an Orthodox Jewish scholar in Israel, Rabbi Arthur Fisher. He also teaches our Biblical Hebrew 1 and 2 and Modern Hebrew 1 and 2. And this is a really unique look at the Bible because it's somebody who knows the original language. He's been a Bible scholar and teacher for years and years, and he loves it. And he's excited to share his passion with our students. And so many people have gone through this class with him and said, I have never understood the Bible as well as I have the last 3 months. I have never read as much of the Bible in this short a time as I have the last 3 months. If you want your kids to do a deep dive in the Old Testament, and look, why shouldn't they? The Old Testament is two times as big as the New Testament. There's a reason for that. It's the prequel to the New Testament. And if you can really understand the Old Testament, you've got the New Testament covered. It's going to just do a great setup for you so that you understand it and get it. And we do have adults going through these classes too. Now, why study Biblical Hebrew and Modern Hebrew? I mean, it's one of the harder languages to learn. You have to learn a whole new alphabet. It's not on the modern foreign language. The Modern Hebrew is. But a lot of people want to read the Bible for themselves. And there's so many compelling reasons to read the Bible for yourself. Translations are limited. I taught Latin for a couple years, and I'm not a language scholar by any means, but I understand translations enough to know that they're all flawed. They all lose meaning. They all lose syntax. They all lose culture and idioms and those kind of studying Old Testament or studying Biblical Hebrew or even Modern Hebrew is a great place to start for them, especially in high school. We have several kids who are going to they've gone through Biblical and Modern, and they're going into number 3. We have a couple kids who've just kept going, and they're doing private tutoring after that. A couple of our kids have actually become fluent in Hebrew and are going for translation certifications. So we've had kids in the Biblical Hebrew and Modern Hebrew classes. This is going on our 6th year. And the kids who get into it, they love it. It's really a puzzle. A lot of kids don't realize that learning a foreign language can be difficult. And so if you get them in there early enough, it's just a fun game for them. Another way to get a 2 for foreign language is to take Biblical Hebrew and Modern Hebrew at the same time. We've had so many students who have done 2 credits of Hebrew in 1 year. That is 2 credits of Hebrew a foreign language in 1 year, and they do biblical and they do modern. Now there's different textbooks, so they are different. There's a slightly different slant to each of them, but they obviously complement each other. And again, it's a great way to get 2 foreign language credits done in only 1 year. And again, it's a unique language. I have an article called Critical Languages and some of the scholarships that are available to kids who study critical languages. I'll link that in the comments below so you can take a look at that. But Hebrew is a critical language. So and the other thing too, it's the only I think it's a democracy. It's the only free country in the Middle East. So it's important to America for so many different reasons, and for Christians and believers around the world for many reasons as well. So I hope you consider these classes. Again, 50% off. This is a crazy sale. You're not going to see it again probably, so take advantage of it. If you have any questions about Old Testament Adam to Nehemiah or the biblical or modern Hebrew, I'd love to answer them for you. You can find interviews that I've done with Rabbi Fisher on our video section of the Facebook page, and he does teach live from Israel every week, which is a phenomenal way to get real cultural context as you're learning both the Bible and the languages. The Adam to Nehemiah class, I just want to touch base on that for one more minute. A very interesting class, and he does teach it as a Jewish scholar, which is very interesting. We've had many people ask, like, is he a Messianic Jew? No, he is an Orthodox Jew, and he's taught for us for many years. He's a good friend of our families at this point, and we just love and appreciate him. But if you really want a unique Old Testament look at the Bible, this is the class for you. And then Biblical Feasts and Festivals is in the fall. But there's so many good reasons to teach your kids the Bible, especially now in this 4th Industrial Revolution. And look, we have other Bible classes. We have Bible Heroes. We have the Life of Christ. We have Old Testament and New Testament Survey. Those two go together as junior high classes, but we always have 9th and 10th graders taking it too. Well, I don't want to say there's never been a better time. There's always a good time to do Bible study. But again, when you're in a cultural revolution, and we are in a 4th Industrial Revolution, now's a good time to really dive deep into faith and values and family and freedom, and give our kids that taste of hope and joy, even in a time of societal disruption, when everything just feels kind of like, what's going on and how do I fit in? This is a great time to really get your kids' feet firmly planted in their faith so that they can head true north all their days. Okay, you guys, I'm Lisa at True North Homeschool Academy, and we're here for you. We are committed to bringing you classes that are relevant, that take some of the burden off of your homeschooling so that you can really enjoy teaching the classes that you love or have the bandwidth for. And we make sure that our classes are high value. So the classes are credit worthy. We have a virtual campus that they get a grading and assignment center as well as topic and bulletin boards. Our teachers are accessible to the kids, and we have so many great opportunities to interact together in our live online classes. The kids do projects, presentations, and of course have assigned and graded homework as well. All right, you guys, I will be back in 2 days to talk about our next sale, but make sure you're on the mailing list. If you're not, get on it. You can find all of our classes at truenorthhomeschool.academy, and we're here to help you have your best homeschool year ever. Talk to you soon.